Hi, I'm Betty McLean, and welcome to Healthcare Hope, a podcast for nurses. With 2 decades of bedside experience and now as a certified burnout coach, I understand the challenges nurses face. I believe that all stress is manageable and burnout is not inevitable. Join me in building strength for yourself and hope for the future of our industry. Hey, welcome to Healthcare Hope. This is a podcast for nurses who want to find balance, build resiliency, and feel more fulfilled, both in your professional and your personal life. I am your host. I'm Coach Betty, and today we are diving into a topic that is very simple, and you probably hear a lot about it, but it's very, very powerful. And we're going to go into it maybe from a different perspective than you've heard before. I'm talking about creating a gratitude practice. We're going to explore what a gratitude practice actually is, why it works from a scientific perspective, and how you can start incorporating it into your own life very, very simply. So we'll start with the basics. What exactly is a gratitude practice? A gratitude practice is the intentional act of focusing on things that we're thankful for on a regular basis in a scheduled way. Okay. Things for which you are grateful could include experiences, your environment, people, or even simple moments or experiences that happen throughout our day. Anything that brings you a sense of joy or appreciation. A gratitude practice does not have to be complicated. In fact, it probably is better if it's simple. It really is about shifting your attention towards the positive things in life, which in turn help you feel happier, more connected, and more grounded. So, a gratitude practice can take many forms. Some people choose to journal daily, listing 3 things or 10 things for which they're grateful. Others might take a moment throughout their day to just silently acknowledge and say thank you for the things that they appreciate. It doesn't really matter how you do it. The goal is to build a habit of recognizing the good things in our lives. It's transformative, really, especially in high stress professions like nursing. I promise we're going to talk more about how to do it, but first I want to talk for a few minutes about the neuroscience, how our brains actually work, so that you can understand why a gratitude practice actually is helpful. First, we're going to talk about the reticular activating system, which scientists have scanned brains and pinpointed a certain area, a certain clump of neurons and area of the brain that are responsible for several things, including our alertness. It helps with the sleep wake cycle and a few other subconscious things. But most notably, the reticular activating system is the part of our brain that's scanning our environment for threats or for things that are important. And the cool thing is that we can actually influence the reticular activating system fairly easily by consciously focusing on specific things frequently. So here's an example. You're getting ready to buy your first car. You decide you want a Subaru Forester. That's my personal favorite and the first car I ever bought. And you begin researching and thinking about the Forester and Subarus and maybe what year of Forester you want to buy. Suddenly, you are seeing Subarus and specifically Subaru Foresters everywhere while you're driving around town, right? Your reticular activating system, the RAS, understood from your constant attention on this car that this car is important to you. And so when your brain is scanning the environment and it sees one, it brings it to your conscious attention. Very simple, but very cool function that our brain does naturally. Now, why is this important? because this is why a gratitude practice works. When we focus on the things that fill us with joy and with thankfulness, the RAS starts looking for those things for which we're grateful. It's like, oh, this is important to you. Let me look for more of that. Isn't that cool? Now, the other key bit of brain science to talk about is stress. And I'm going to cover this extremely quickly, but basically, when we're stressed, our brain is thinking about things that make us feel anxious, angry, worried, sad, overwhelmed, etc. When we think about those things, we feel stressed. This is how emotions work. We think a thought, and our body experiences a cascade of neurotransmitters, and we feel a feeling. This is how thoughts and feelings work. So, if we had a hard day at work and we are continually replaying how a family member yelled at us or how a patient almost didn't make it through the shift, we will continue to feel the emotions associated with that thought. This works for future focused thoughts too. When you imagine your next shift and how horrible it might be, the neurotransmitters that are released into your body give you a feeling of anxiety or worried. Thoughts create emotions. And if you want a really deep dive into that, there's a wonderful book called 90 Seconds to a Life You Love by Dr. Joan Rosenberg, which is a great discussion, great book about how thoughts create emotions. Not going to get into it any more than that. The point is, imagine you're thinking about your new baby or your sweet old dog who adores you or how beautiful the sunset was. Your emotions will follow your thoughts because science. When you think about someone you love, your brain releases the neurotransmitters that make you feel love, appreciation, thankfulness, gratitude. The reason a gratitude practice works is because of science. It's not magic, it's science. So, we know why it works. Let's talk about why gratitude is more than just a feel good practice. It is more than just something to add to your to do list, more than just a self care thing. There's actually a substantial amount of research showing that gratitude and gratitude practices have real measurable benefits both on your mental health and on your physical health. And if you want links to those studies, you are welcome to message me. But we know from research that there's a strong impact of gratitude on our mental health. We know that. Research shows that practicing gratitude can measurably reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression. When we actively focus on positive, our brain releases all those feel good chemicals like dopamine and serotonin. Depending on our gratitude practice, it can actually help us feel happier and be more relaxed and be more connected with people in our lives. The cool thing is that over time, gratitude will rewire our brains to look for positive experiences rather than just defaulting to negativity. So that's the mental aspect of it. They're actually able to measure that gratitude practices can improve sleep quality. In one study, people who took just a few minutes before bed to write down things for which they were grateful and thankful, they slept longer and better. This is because gratitude reduces stress and worry, and it makes it easier to fall into a restful sleep. So, it also can actually boost your immune system. They've measured that. They have shown, of course, that it boosts our emotional resilience. When we are constantly acknowledging the good in our lives and not just dealing with the negative, we actually build a mental buffer against those stressors. It doesn't mean we ignore challenges or pretend everything's fine. Instead, it just means we're training our brain to look for everything, not just to handle the bad, but also to look for the good. And it helps us navigate difficulties with more strength and optimism. So, in addition to all of that, studies have actually found that people who practice gratitude regularly have stronger immune system, lower blood pressure, and a lower risk for developing certain chronic diseases. Seriously, the research is amazing. The mind body connection is very powerful. When we feel happier and less stressed, our bodies respond in kind. So, practicing gratitude isn't just about feeling a little happier in the moment. It actually has long-lasting benefits, both mental and physical. And for nurses who face daily stress, lots of pressure, and a lot of emotional demands, gratitude is a powerful tool for creating and sustaining true, balanced well-being. We will always have stress and anxiety. Those are normal human emotions, and they're caused by normal human thoughts. But when you practice feeling stressed, you get really good at it. And when we practice thankfulness, we get really good at that too. So we know the benefits. Let's talk about how you can start a gratitude practice. You don't need a lot of time. You definitely don't need any special tools to make this work. Really, it's just about a few simple habits. One of the easiest ways to begin is with a gratitude journal. What you do is each day, whether it's morning, before bed, in the middle of the day on your lunch break, doesn't matter. You're going to write down in a journal or on a file in your phone three things that you're grateful for. And these can be little things like a warm cup of coffee or a beautiful sunrise. It can be big things like your family, your health, God, something magical. It can even be the same thing every day. It doesn't matter. But every day you're going to write down three or five or 10 things. It doesn't matter. The point is that every day or regularly throughout the week, you are asking your brain to come up with a list of things that bring you joy and appreciation and feelings of gratefulness. Again, by doing this consistently, you are reprogramming that reticular activating system, that beautiful brain of yours, to look for positive things throughout the day instead of only focusing on the things that are going bad or stressful. Another tool that a lot of people enjoy is gratitude walks. So, this is exactly that. If you're able to take a walk during your break or after your shift or first thing in the morning, you're going to walk and focus on things around you that you appreciate. It could be the fresh air, it could be the sound of birds, or simply that you love how strong your body is feeling today. This practice of combining gratitude with movement can really be very beneficial in amplifying those positive effects that we get when we have a gratitude practice. And lastly, if you're looking for a quick and meaningful way to practice gratitude, especially if you're new to this work, I would love for you to download my free one-page PDF. It's called Focused Gratitude Meditation. And in it, I walk you through a very powerful 2-minute exercise on how to practice gratitude. To get it, you just need to go to aimforgreatnesscoaching.com/gratitude to request the PDF. I want to encourage you to give gratitude practice a try, whether it's gratitude journaling, going on gratitude walks, my focused gratitude meditation. It doesn't have to be perfect and it should not be all consuming, taking up all your time. Even just a few moments of gratitude each day can lead to a real measurable change in your mood, your outlook, and your health. Especially as we head into holidays or busy seasons, it's always the perfect time to start a gratitude practice. If you would like some extra support around building habits like this and finding more joy in your life, I would love to help. Right now, I have private coaching available and I'm offering a free Burnout Discovery Call, where we can talk about what's causing your stress and how practices like gratitude and stress management techniques can help you reclaim your energy and create more fulfillment. You can email me, Betty at aimforgreatnesscoaching.com, to request a free session, and we'll just start a conversation of how I can support you through this. So, thank you for tuning in to Healthcare Hope. I really hope that today's episode inspired you to start focusing on gratitude in small ways and in big ways, and to experience the positive changes that it can bring. So, take care and remember, you deserve joy and energy and fulfillment in every part of your life. Thank you for listening today. If you're ready for support and looking for a community of like-minded healthcare professionals, join me in my free private Facebook group called Healthcare Hope with Coach Betty. If you found this episode helpful or encouraging, please share it with your friends and fellow nurses. Subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. Together, we can create strength for our lives and hope in healthcare.